Wednesday morning. It's Tara, Christian, wife, homeschool mom, 10, almost 11 children. If we haven't met before, nice to meet you. Today, I will be sharing from my life, from my home with, like I said, 10, almost 11 children, about how I have learned to deal with whining. Because honestly, for me, whining is like nails on a chalkboard. I don't enjoy it in adults. I mean, and in kids, when I first became a mom, though I was completely unprepared for motherhood and I guess on some level I knew to expect, poopy diapers, barfing, and whining. But when it started to come at me, and I'm not just talking about like little baby fussy noises when they're trying to communicate, like I'm hungry, I'm poopy, I'm uncomfortable. I'm talking about when they get verbal, kind of, 1.5, 2 years old onward, and the whining starts to kick in. And any mom, regardless of the size of your family, you have 2 kids, 5 kids, 10 kids, we all experience whining because it's almost like part of life. It's like it's just a human nature thing. Well, if there's anything that kind of gets my temperature up and I feel a rise in me, it's whining. We know what it sounds like, right? Like, oh, I don't like my sandwich, or he always gets the first turn. These are common sentences in my home, or it's no fair, right? Or just here's my favorite, or just whining noises, right? They're not even making words anymore, even though they could, and they're just like, like it's chalkboard for me, if you know what I mean. And because I have almost 11 children, just sort of living with it and waiting for the phase or something to end isn't really an option for me because I have my sanity to protect and, in the duration. And when you're committed to having a big family, that means like childhood kind of gets stretched out. It's not just this couple year stint and then they'll be like adults, right? And it's not as if whining is just a phase either. If left unchecked, this is going to grow like anything, right? In the garden of life, things they're fruitful and they multiply. Attitudes, habits, it's going to keep going. So, having a big family and just me, my personality, just not ignoring whining, not an option. And also on the other end of the spectrum, totally freaking out on my kids when they choose to whine, also not an option, right? Because I don't feel that that's appropriate adult behavior or good, mothering to just unload myself emotionally when I kind of hit a tipping point of like, enough, right? Stop whining. That's also not sustainable. So where's the middle ground? When people say to me, hey, Tara, how do you handle whining? You got all these kids. You must encounter this. I'm like, yeah, I encounter this. Because it's universal. Kids are kids. Humans are humans. Whining happens. What am I going to do about it? Well, I've learned a couple things through trial and error over the years. So I'm going to share with you a couple tips today and actually again on Friday because it's like, oh, I got so much I could share about this. Not because I'm some kind of guru, just because I've had to walk this road. Like I said, had to figure it out so it wouldn't drive me crazy. And I also wouldn't drive my kids crazy by unloading on them inappropriately. So some tips today, and I'm going to give some more tips on Friday. So here it is. First, in a quieter, more reflective moment, over a cup of tea or whatever, I realized that most whining really, it's just immaturity. It's just pure, and this is the way I see it, pure and simple, emotionally immature, expressions. They want something, right? They're communicating something. They don't like their sandwich. The brother always seems to get the turn. It's not really fair. It's just like how they're saying it. Usually what they're saying, there's actually like kind of a point in there. It's just not really well expressed. Right? And that's part of growing up is learning how to communicate our needs, our wants, our requests in a more mature way. And I'm the mom. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom, right? And we even homeschool to boot. And homeschooling, I heard this great quote yesterday from another mom. Oh my gosh, I love it. She says, homeschooling is hard because it's parenting. So even if you don't homeschool, like parenting can be hard, right? It stretches you. It reveals all of my stuff. So when my kids are whining in the heat of the moment, I kind of feel the emotional, the trigger, because I don't like the whining in general. Like I said, nails on chalkboard. But in a quieter, reflective moment, I'm like, they're just learning how to communicate. So I have a maternal opportunity. I would even argue a responsibility to teach. And that's like a ouch, but it's a good ouch. Because I'm speaking to myself. This is in no way coming down on you. You're just like, oh my gosh, I just yelled at my kids like 20 minutes ago for yelling. I get it. I've done it. So let me share with you in a quieter moment, right? When we can talk about it more maturely, mom to mom. How do I handle it? Well, here's what I do. Knowing that this is really an opportunity to teach rather than an opportunity to unload and vent my personal feelings about whining, I resort to my 3 C's, which you may have heard me talk about before. So, real quick, it's calm, clear, and consistent. So, how does that apply to whining? Well, for me, calm right off the bat, right? For me, it often is a deep breath. And I used to think deep breaths were kind of woo woo and whatever and weird. Yeah, until I became a parent. And I was like, I better calm down real quick. Right? So when the kids whine, I'm like, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe do that another 2 or 3 times, right? Because my choice to stay calm when I could choose to lose my calm, it doesn't like run away. I choose to like let go. My choice to stay calm helps infuse like me, the kids, the environment with more calm, right? I'm leading by example. I'm a servant leader. I'm called by God to lead my children there with more calm. And I know there's some tough days when you haven't had a lot of good sleep and you're just already feeling it. Whew, when being calm is easier said than done. So what helps me, honestly, and it sounds so simple, but hey, if you haven't done it, give it a whirl and give it more than one whirl because sometimes habits take some time to form. Deep breath, right? Choose to remain calm. And here's what I do next. So there's my calm. And I'm also modeling to the children, this is how we grow up into mature choices, right? Because if I'm always flying off the handle and emotionally responding to my children's provocations, they're going to follow my example. And that's the people they're probably most likely going to become. Calm. Number 2, clear. So the younger my kids are, I just real simple. I talk in like 1 to 5 word sentences. I'll very clearly say, stop. Just calm, clear authority, but a loving authority, not like a angry, threatening authority, right? But stop. Just eye contact, stop. And boom, right? They're kind of like, sometimes just sort of like jars them or like, the like, and just stop, right? Pause. And quite often I get results right on that because it's sort of almost like snapping your finger and you're like, stop, like snap out of it. And then I say to them, depending again on their age, I might, if they're a little bit older, maybe 4 or 5 years old, I might, stop whining because now I'm identifying the behavior. So they start to understand, oh, this is that. There's a word for this, right? Right? Like stop running, right? So running in the street, for example, stop whining. So now they know, oh, this is what that is. And it's not going to be rewarded with 2 things, mom ignoring it or mom, rewarding it, sort of caving in. Because either way, I'm not an advocate of either sort of extreme response. So calmly, clearly, I just say, stop whining. That's really it. Because there's not a whole lot more to say. Once and then they like, and maybe if they're really overwrought, they might need to just kind of go calm down on the couch or have a moment. Because honestly, until they're calm, there is no way that we're going to deal with this because they're in a whole other brain space. They're in a whole other space. So when they're calm, I start with calm, they're calm, stop whining, boom. And then I stay consistent. Like overreacting one day or underreacting the next, they know that by and large, this is what I can expect from mom. And I just will then give them an opportunity. I'll say, will you say that again to mommy? Because what they really want to say is, Mom, I'm feeling kind of I'm talking like 4 or 5-year-old, right? So-and-so is always getting the turn. And I would like to have the first turn today. And I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. I will show you how to ask that. I will show you how to deal with conflict with a younger or an older sibling, right? That way they don't feel so frustrated and they're resorting to whining. And really whining is just venting the emotions, which I'm like, I could choose to take this personally, or I could choose to take this like a teaching opportunity. And that's totally up to me to be the more mature person in the situation. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5-year-olds here. And yeah, I've got teenagers as well. And sometimes the whining comes flying out of their mouth. And I'm just like, hey, please stop whining, right? Eye contact, calm, please stop whining. Will you say that again? And they're like, okay. And they kind of like rephrase it, right? Because we've gone through this since they were little kids. So they're used to the drill. And that's just kind of a gracious cue of like, I want to help you. I really want to assist you. I want to help you get your goal in a reasonable way. Whether it's like, I want the first turn, or I'd like to have a request met. And it's a reasonable request. So they know that I'm consistently going to be there for them. And I will consider, what they've requested of me, so long as they're being calm and reasonable in their request. So this has really helped us tamp down on the whining because the kids know like, we're just wasting time. if they're going to resort to whining, especially the older they get, and we've gone through this, we've gone through this. So this has helped my kids and me stay more calm, be more clear with each other, and be more consistent in not resorting to whining as a primary way to kind of manipulate each other into getting what we want. So we have a lot less power struggles, which is great. So I'm going to talk more on Friday because I got a couple more tips that I think will be really helpful. They've certainly helped me in my own life. But like, if right now you're like, that's great, Tara, but keeping calm, easier said than done. I want to help you be more calm. I know I've really had, sorry, my bread machine is going off right now because we're having buns with the pulled pork tonight. I've learned how to be a more calm mom, and it's been a journey. It's been a road, and I've actually found a couple of things that really helped me along the way. So I've included in today's live a link to a free guide available on my website called 3 Ways to Be More Calm Mom. It's one of my most requested free guides. So feel free to check it out if you like. That can help you with step 1, right? Because until you get calm, it's really hard then to lead your children in how to calmly not whine and have less conflict in your home. It's just more peaceful communication. What I do by God's grace, really to just kind of keep my chill, keep my cool, keep my dignity when the pressure's on with, 3+ kids in our home. I know what it's like to lose your cool. I've done it. I've blogged about it. I've had some of my worst mom moments when I've unloaded on my kids, right? Just kind of hit my breaking point and I chose to let go. And I feel terrible. And I know that this is not the way to go. So this is why I've had to learn to become a more calm mom, because otherwise, history repeats itself. And I was like, is this the kind of people they're going to grow up to be? And it was like, and I'm doing it to them. So I highly recommend that guide. If that's, step 1, you're struggling with the calm. I get it. And I love to encourage you and support you in that to help you overcome big family mom struggles. They're common to all moms, regardless of the number of the kids you have. But like I said, the more kids you have, it kind of, it's an opportunity to grow in God's grace even more, because just delaying things and hoping they'll go away. You're like, I got 10 kids in the pipeline. This isn't going to go away. We're just going to keep repeating this over and over again. So it can make your life a whole lot easier and bring a lot more calm to your home. So thank you for, checking in with me. I'm going to check real quick if I had anybody in the chat who wanted to talk. I see a couple people catching this live, and there's no chat today, and that's totally cool. So if you want to leave any comments below, if you have any questions about that or anything at all, feel free to drop a comment. It'll enter you into the giveaway for this week, which I run weekly in my Facebook Moms group. Otherwise, God bless you. It was great connecting with you, whether you're catching this live or later. And I'll see you on Friday, where we can pick up this talk and go a little bit